sold over 400 standing room tickets at the Hilton Coliseum in Ames, Iowa, and there will be over 14,400 people on hand for Iowa State and Oklahoma. And a very pleasant Saturday afternoon, everybody. I'm Ron Thulin, and joining me this afternoon, Dr. Glenn Potter. Glenn, just 3 days ago, we saw the Oklahoma Sooners beat the Iowa State Cyclones in Norman, and they did it rather handily, I might say.
You're right. The Sooners won 109-86, but in that contest, Jeff Grayer only scored 6 points. He hurt his toe in the first couple minutes of play and only played 23 minutes. The outstanding guard from Iowa State, Gary Tompkins, did not play due to the flu, so I'm sure Iowa State feels they have a chance.
Big game for both teams. Let's take a look at the standings. Kansas State on top. Both Oklahoma and Iowa State must win today. Let's take a look at the comparative statistics, and both teams can put the ball in the hole.
Yes, they can. The statistic that really stands out is that Iowa State is number 5 and Oklahoma's number 1 in NCAA offensive performance. Great teams.
Well, the combined record for points at Hilton is 216, and that might be broken today. We'll be back after these messages from your friends at Phillips 66. Glenn Potter back with you at Hilton Coliseum in Ames, Iowa for today's starting lineup. Let's go to public address announcer Gary Wade.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to James H. Hilton Coliseum for this afternoon's game between your Iowa State University Cyclones and the University of Oklahoma Sooners. Let's meet the starting lineups for this afternoon's game. First of all, for the visiting Sooners, at forward, a 6'5" senior from San Bernardino, California, number 44, Dave Seeger. At forward, a 6'8" senior from Sparta, Georgia, number 25, Harvey Graham. At center, a 6'10" junior from Lawton, Oklahoma, number 33, Stacy King. At one guard, a 6' junior from Garland, Texas, number 10, Mookie Blaylock. And at the other guard, a 6'1" senior from Dallas, Texas, number 14, Ricky Grace.
And of course, the coach for the Oklahoma Sooners in his 8th season, Billy Tubbs.
And now let's meet the starting lineup for your Iowa State University Cyclones. At forward, a 6'5" senior from Flint, Michigan, number 44, Jeff Grayer. At forward, a 6'5" freshman from Elgin, Illinois, number 41, Mark Wall. At center, a 6'8" senior from Memphis, Tennessee, number 5, Lester Rose. At one guard, a 5'9" sophomore from Waterloo, number 4, Terry Wood. And at the other guard, a 6'3" senior from Jackson, Michigan, number 3, Gary Tompkins.
And there's the man that just about owns Hilton Coliseum here in Ames, Iowa in his 8th season, Johnny Orr, the head coach of the Cyclones. It's the Sooners and the Cyclones coming up, and we'll be back right after this message from your friends at Phillips 66. This broadcast is a copyrighted presentation of Raycom Sports. Any reuse of this production without the consent of Raycom Sports is prohibited. Let's take a look at the officials for today's game, and they best have their track shoes on. We have Ed Hightower, Terry Turlington, and John Carr will be the men in the stripes today. Last time Oklahoma has won here at Hilton Coliseum was back in 1985, January 23rd to be exact, 81-74. This has not been a very friendly place for visiting teams. The fans definitely are worth some points.
You're right, and Iowa State is 10-0 here at home this year. The one thing that I really think the Cyclones have to do this afternoon is make sure they don't turn the ball over against the press. Oklahoma has averaged 28 turnovers when their opponents have played them, and those result in a lot of layups as a result of it.
There we see the 152nd meeting between these two teams. Oklahoma has a handy advantage. We saw Billy Tubbs. He is 14-4 versus Iowa State. And Johnny Orr, of course, also in his eighth season, is 4-14 against Oklahoma. But you throw the records all aside because players like Jeff Grayer, it's going to be a rock'em sock'em one this afternoon. And quickly, Stacey King to the hoop. He's fouled by the freshman, starting in place of Elmer Robinson.
Another thing that makes the Sooners so tough is they are so well balanced. You can look at King down in the low post. Harvey Grant plays inside or outside. Sager, Grant, and Mookie Blaylock are exceptionally fine outside shooters. Extremely well balanced.
Here's a player that's really come on this year for the Sooners. Stacey King played much of a reserve role last season. He gets the first point of the ball game. Out of Lawton, Oklahoma, 6'10", 229, celebrated his 21st birthday yesterday.
We're going to get an opportunity to watch the Sooners full court press. It's 1-2-1-1. They go to double team immediately.
There's one of their hardest defensive players, Dave Seeger, and he quickly gets on ball. There's the man that did not play Wednesday against Oklahoma. He had the flu, Gary Tompkins, a steadfast player for Iowa State. Ball's out, and it'll belong to the Cyclones.
We might mention Harvey Grant was a doubtful starter going into the game simply because he has a touch of the flu.
We see Johnny Orr's career record, of course, the great years at Michigan. Took over the program here at Iowa State, and 14,400 will attest that he has done a magnificent job for the Cyclones. Lefester Rhodes tries to get it down underneath the block. Knocked out, belongs to the Cyclones. Let's talk about Lefester Rhodes as we see Johnny Orr 10-0 at home this season, 12-0 going back to last year, undefeated. Lefester Rhodes called the most improved player in college basketball. Where's number 5? He has been a force this year, but there is the main man. Jeff Grayer takes it to the hole, doesn't get it. Rebound loose, gets his own rebound. And he doesn't get the roll. Sooners have control, leading 2-0 early on. Round fielding with Glenn Potter. Glad you can be with us for the first of 2 Big 8 games here on the Raycom Sports Network. King on the baseline, little turnaround, high arch off the glass. He's got it.
Sooner strategy early is to go inside. They feel like they can dominate the inside game, and that's what they worked on in practice.
Iowa State still looking for their first point of the ball game. There's Rhodes, had 54 points in a contest against Iowa earlier this season. Terry Woods, he's working on Blaylock. Blaylock, you have to be careful. He'll pick your pocket and then give you change back for it. Baugh, three-pointer on the way, doesn't get it. So Iowa State 0 for 3 in the early going. Quickly, Oklahoma turns the ball over. Here come the Cyclones. This is what we expected. Woods slows it up. Is Iowa State a very patient team when they don't get the break? Go ahead.
No, they are not. That's why we're going to see a high score today. They don't hesitate to put the ball up. If they break that press, they're going to go for it.
Ricky Grace with a good feed. Blaylock can't get it to go. King puts the ball on the floor, having trouble with it. Turnaround, he's got it.
Boy, does he have a nice soft touch. High arching shot, very difficult to block.
Averaging 18.6. His high was 19. Woods takes it to the hole over the big guys.
That's the type of action you expect from the Cyclones. They don't handle the ball exceptionally well. They're going to put it up. They won't take any seconds off the clock.
And the Sooners turn the ball over. It'll belong to, let's see who they've got. The officials checking. They say Oklahoma.
Well, it had to be Oklahoma unless they were calling a foul. Iowa State claiming they were tripped.
Well, Billy Tubbs likes it. Johnny Orr pretending he's a place kicker on the side. Let's take a look at it again.
See if there was contact between. Yes, he did, but it wasn't an intentional trip.
Well, the Sooners missed the shot. Here comes Iowa State. Woods gets by Blaylock to Rhodes.
That's where Lefester Rhodes is extremely good. He can run the floor.
I tell you, that Woods, he had a great feed there. Sooners quickly back. King with the rebound. He's having a game, and he's fouled by Jeff Grayer.
And now that's where Oklahoma is so tough. They love to shoot the ball outside, and they've got good enough shooters that you've got to pick them up defensively, which means that Stacey King can roam inside.
Let's take a look at that foul again as you look at Jeff Grayer picking up his first personal foul. There we see the miss, Stacey King battling.
Went up, did not go up real strong. He was fading away from the basket, but he was fouled.
Well, he is 2 of 2 from the line this afternoon. He now has 7 points, and the Oklahoma Sooners have 7. They lead it by 1. His high was 33 earlier this season. He is now perfect from the line. Oklahoma in that pressure defense again. That is something Johnny Orr told us yesterday they have to work on. They can't get rattled in this press. Good question to see how long Harvey Grant can put up with that press. He walked with it, turnover Iowa State, as you mentioned, with the flu. But Glenn, this is a type of defense Oklahoma plays. If you have the flu, you could get in trouble real quick.
You're right. They play at such a hectic pace, and this is a difference between past Oklahoma teams. They get after you on defense. They create and force you to do something with the ball.
Now Oklahoma goes in their half-court offense. Stacey King battling LaFesta Rhodes underneath. High post to the big man, the general, Harvey Grant. Ricky Grace, the former Wilmer Hutchins star in Dallas, misses, goes right back up with it, doesn't get it again. Let's try best out of 3. How about best out of 4? Still no good. Stacey King controlling the boards.
Oklahoma is not what you would call a real strong rebounding team. However, they're very quick to the ball.
And LaFesta Rhodes goes up for the layup. We've got a whistle and a foul called, and it will be called on Stacey King. That'll be his first personal.
Well, watch LaFesta Rhodes go in, leaves his feet, puts the ball against the board, and he was fouled.
We have played just over 3.5 minutes, and we have 18 points on the board already.
You talk about greyhounds, Harvey Martin, LaFesta Rhodes, player from each of the team. You would think they were inside players, but I'll guarantee you better stay with them the full length of the floor. They can fly.
LaFesta, very slim, very slender, but he can run.
Iowa State likes to full court press at times. It looks like they're not going to do it at this point in time. They usually like to use a 2-2-1.
Tompkins working on Grace. Ricky loses the handle, able to gain control. Double team. Rhodes dumps off. Better get rid of it. He does to Seeger. Dave kicks it back out. They get it underneath again to Blaylock. His shot off the glass, no good.
Should be goaltending.
Good goaltending. Counted for Blaylock. His first 2.
You saw how Tompkins really got after Grace on the defense. He's an all-Big 8 defender. Excellent guard.
We see little Mookie Blaylock, 6 foot, 177, out of Garland, Texas, a suburb of Dallas. Goes up top. But there is a goaltending call. Now we've got a whistle and a foul away from the ball. And that'll be on Ricky Grace.
His hand checking.
Now Ricky Grace comes into the game, number 2 in steals in the conference. And he will pick your pocket, and Billy Tubbs and Johnny Orr are going to have 2 minutes to talk to their respective teams. We've got 15:59 showing on the clock. Oklahoma leads Iowa State by 3. That we'll be selecting the Ford Player of the Game at the end of today's game, so stay with us for our Ford Player of the Game announcements. Oklahoma had a number of chances underneath on one of the offensive plays. Let's take a look at it, Glenn.
The ball's put up on the board. Look and see how many second and third shot opportunities they get. Grace shoots and misses, has a block, tries it again, has it partially blocked, gets the ball again, hesitates, goes up inside. Oklahoma has dominated the boards. In fact, they have 8 rebounds to Iowa State's 2 up to this point in time.
And there we see the field goal percentage. Iowa State with the upper hand by there, and then we see the rebounds. But it's the Sooners now by 3. Iowa State with a chance to tie if they can the 3-pointer. Tompkins working on Grace. Good matchup. Ricky gives a couple of inches to Gary. And the Sooners, Mookie Blaylock will probably be credited with the steal. Let's see who that belongs to. Possession will belong to Iowa State.
Grace will probably get the steal because he came up with the ball,
That's
but
right.
You're right. Blaylock's the one that tapped it out of there. Good defensive play.
Well, he's number 1 in the country in steals and 1 in the conference. Averages 4.6. We speak of Mookie Blaylock.
In fact, if he gets 5 in this game, he will lead that category for a season in OU history.
Speaking of 5, Jeff Grayer gets 5 points. He becomes the all-time leading scorer in Iowa State history, surpassing Barry Stevens. Here comes the Sooners, the big king, 2-on-1 to Blaylock off the glass.
Surprisingly, the Cyclones haven't turned it over against the press. They have turned it over in their half-court offense. Nice pass.
Well, LaFesta Rhodes used his body very well coming in from the left side.
Now, the front line of OU gets down the court and hurry on offense. They better do the same thing on defense or they won't keep up with Rhodes.
Tell you, Terry Woods takes the ball and he's up the hardwood real quick. Ricky Grace has his shot put in row J. Here comes Tompkins. No, we've got a foul.
You know what was great about the block of Tompkins? He saved the ball and was able to come up with possession instead of batting it in a direction where he couldn't regain.
And I think the foul will be on Ricky Grace. Yes, it is. Ricky Grace's second personal foul. Third team foul for the Sooners.
Now, what's this block by Tompkins? Good job, no contact. Then you could see Grace pushing him as Tompkins went to get possession of the ball.
Good job.
We'll have to keep an eye on Tompkins since he's had the flu, whether or not he can continue this pace for 40 minutes.
Good job by our camera guys. Talked to Gary before the game. He said he still has a little upper congestion, but he's starting to sweat it out. Rebound, Stacey King. He's been the master of the board so far this afternoon. Far side to Blaylock, tries to take it to the paint, loses control. We've got a foul on Greer.
I mentioned the balance of Oklahoma. When they spread you out like that, the defense can't help because Grace and Seeger can shoot, and that allows Blaylock to penetrate in the middle like he just did, and he ended up picking up the foul. Watching from the outside, nice crossover step into the middle. Defense just a little slow getting there.
Johnny Orr doesn't like that. He's going to sit down as Mookie Blaylock takes to the line. His first appearance this afternoon. He has 5 points. He's averaging 17.6, third leading scorer for the Sooners. Free throw percentage, good shooter, 78% from the line, only 45%, however, from the field. Second one doesn't get it. 14:35 showing on the clock, and there you see our score. It's been the Sooners. They lead it by 4. Glad you can be with us here at Hilton Coliseum in Ames. Greer throws up the two-pointer, doesn't get it. Rebound controlled by Ricky Grace. Here comes Oklahoma again. They've got a 4-on-2. Let's see what Blaylock does with it. To Seeger, three-pointer. No, King with the rebound. The follow tapped in by Blaylock.
Sooners have been dominating inside, and the guards have come up with a number of rebounds.
Mookie Blaylock has to have at least 3 or 4 right now. Same thing with Ricky Grace. Sooners up by 6, their largest margin so far this afternoon. DeBaugh, the freshman, had very good games against Missouri and Oklahoma. He takes it to the hole on Seeger, partially blocked by Grant. Jeff Grayer's there for the foul.
That's where Greer is so good. He's always around the basketball.
Well, 1 more point for Jeff Grayer. And he will set the all-time record, and you will hear it from this crowd at 14,000 plus at Hilton. King turnaround over Greyer. Greyer got a piece of it, I think. 3-on-1 for Iowa State. Pulls up, shoots, he's got it. Harry Woods. Mike Bourne getting ready to check in the lineup for Iowa State on this dead ball. Bourne is 6'1", junior transfer out of West Des Moines.
I think that's a good substitute for Johnny Orr. Tompkins was a little tired and a half a step slow on that play. Bourne, an excellent outside shooter. Doesn't have great speed and quickness, but I'll tell you what, he can light up the scoreboard from three-point range.
And Tony Martin, the 6'7" sophomore out of Los Angeles, California, comes in. They're going to sit the general down, Harvey Grant.
Martin started in the game Wednesday night in place of Stacey King, had an excellent performance.
Martin, of course, redshirted last year, coming off minor knee surgery. Stacey King again.
I don't know how long Iowa State can continue to play behind Stacey King. He's lighting up the scoreboard.
They're going to have to start fronting him. He has 12 of Oklahoma's 19 points. Sooners up by 4. LeFester throws up the left-handed jumper. He's got it.
Stacey King's better play some defense at the other end if he's going to check Rhodes.
I'll tell you, it'd be the Rhodes and King show. Seeger, Rhodes on him. Blaylock, far side. Mike Bourne to King, top of the key. Left-handed jumper around the way, doesn't get it. Blaylock again with the board, right-handed. He throws it up and in.
Boy, is he a complete player.
Can you imagine Mookie Blaylock and Ricky Grace in the same backcourt at Midland Junior College?
Imagine them at Oklahoma.
That's right, exactly right. Both can play point or off guard. LeFester Rhodes with the jumper, doesn't get it. Seeger fights for the rebound. He does a good job getting it. Here comes Blaylock. 3-on-3. Bet you Sooners don't hold it. And they don't. Grace to the hole, doesn't get it. And it's an offensive foul.
And I believe that's 3 on Grace.
3. Now Billy Tubbs has to go to his bench. He doesn't like the call. Ricky Grace slow to get out.
Grace made a poor decision that time. Mookie Blaylock was wide open on the right wing, but Grace, as he penetrated, went into the teeth of the defense. All he had to do was kick the ball off for the three-point shot. You can see Blaylock come in along the baseline.
Terry Woods did a good job. Gets that step on Bourne.
Mullins comes into the lineup replacing Grace.
That's Terrence Mullins, the 6'2" freshman redshirt out of San Francisco, California. 6'2", 198. Ricky Grace sits down, 3 personal fouls. You have your #1 assistman sitting on the bench. That's not something Billy Tubbs likes, as LeFester Rhodes can't get it to fall. Here comes the Sooners again. 12 minutes on the clock. Blaylock, good pass underneath.
You've got to stop the penetrator on the dribble.
Martin with his first 2 of the game. And there it is. Jeff Grayer has just become the all-time leading scorer here at Iowa State University, and we're going to stop the game, and rightly so. Well, as Jeff Grayer gets his award, we'll be back to Hilton Coliseum with the Sooners leading The Iowa State Cyclones 23-19. We'll be back.
All you need to know about do-it-yourself projects is your neighborhood True Value hardware store.
Seconds remain to be played in the first half. Oklahoma leads by 4. New NFL Citibank Visa card. Carry the card of your favorite team and earn free NFL gear just for using it. Call 1-800-NFL-VISA today. 2,190 points was the magic mark, and Jeff Grayer has just broken that mark set by Barry Stevens, one of the great players here at Iowa State. Let's see the basket that set the record for Jeff Grayer.
Woods came down, made the pass on the wing. Nice pass and cut to the basket by Grayer. You know, I'd like to mention something about Billy Tubbs. He could have said, hey, when he scores that career record, I don't want the game stopped. But he was gracious enough to say, hey, it's a great moment in a young man's life. Let's take advantage of it.
Well, we just saw Harvey Grant has just run to the locker room for the Oklahoma Sooners. He had the flu prior to the game. Johnny Orr sitting on the bench, and probably nobody wants to see a player like Harvey Grant have to go to the locker room, but that is a plus for Iowa State. We'll try to get an update. We'll send one of our people in there, find out exactly what is wrong with the general. But he is in the locker room now. He had the flu at the start of the game, and nevertheless, we continue with Oklahoma leading by 4, 11:35 on the clock. Blaylock fakes the three-pointer inside to King. This time he's double-teamed. Martin loses the ball, gets control of it again. Shot by Mullins, no good. Rebound, he fights for it, and Bourne comes up with it. Terrence Mullins did a good job, but Mike Bourne was there to battle him off. There we see Bourne, 22 to Terry Woods.
Dorfeld into the lineup also for the Cyclones.
Dorfeld, number 43, 6'7" sophomore out of Davenport, Iowa.
Now this is the most patience that the Cyclones have really shown, and it's coming at a good point in the game.
Underneath the Grayer.
Iowa State's got to be careful. Grayer doesn't pick up his third foul. I would pick on him a little bit. He's guarding Martin inside.
Martin stands 6'7", Grayer 6'5". Could be a good battle. Blaylock loses the handle. Tipped almost in by Stacey King. Gets the rebound again. Puts it up, no good. Let's try Martin. He goes off the glass and he's got it.
Notice Grayer was standing behind him. He couldn't take the risk of trying to block the shot. Martin had good inside position. King has really been a dominating factor inside as well.
Tell you, Bourne with a long range three-pointer.
I like the three-point shot. It can bring you back in a hurry, and a player like Bourne is very effective in that kind of a system.
I think he has the green light just about any time he wants. Seeger now. He's also a three-point threat for Oklahoma. Underneath the King, turnaround jumper over Dorfeld, nothing but air. Mullins with the shot. He has to go high off the glass, no good. Grayer very tentative in defensing him. Seeger, three-pointer on the way in and out, no good. Tip back out. Dorfeld comes up with it. Tip by Stacey King. Let's see who it belongs to. Give it to the Cyclones.
Seeger really made a nice effort, but he stepped on the line as he was going to bat the ball. Iowa State is just being dominated inside. Oklahoma is coming up shot after shot. Some of those have got to start falling for them. If Dorfeld had it, King knocked it out of his hands. Sager, they ruled that King stepped out of bounds when he hit the ball.
That is a close play. Mark Baugh back into the lineup for Iowa State. Andre Wiley in for the Oklahoma Sooners, wearing number 32, the 6'5" junior out of Flint, Michigan. 9:46 showing on the clock. Oklahoma has a 1-point advantage. Woods with Blaylock on him, throws up the jumper short. LaFesta Rhodes can't get the handle. Back to Woods, takes it to the paint. He loses it. Well, we've got a foul.
Terry Woods, very quick, can penetrate with the basketball. Not what you'd call a dominating score. In fact, when he went into the lane that time, he was looking more to pass the ball off than he was to shoot it. Watch his head turn. He wanted to dump that ball off. He was fouled.
Well, the word we have is Harvey Grant is sick. And I guess the flu has gotten the best of him. And it remains to be seen whether or not the general will come back for Oklahoma. Big loss. You take Harvey Grant, his 23.6 average out of the lineup, leading rebounder. Big hole for Oklahoma, but then again, Iowa State played without two of their players on Wednesday night. Woods for a pair, doesn't get the first.
When you shoot a free throw, you really need to stay set on that line, and that time as the ball left Woods' hand, he was backing out.
Yeah, I think Gary Tompkins getting ready to check back in for Terry Woods, or check in for Terry Woods. If he makes this, he'll probably go sit down, take a little breather.
Nice release that time.
And Woods will sit down. Tompkins coming back in. 9:33 on the clock. Oklahoma, Iowa State. We're knotted up at 25. Our first tie of the afternoon. Good matchup. Blaylock with Tompkins. Seeger, Rose out on him. Mullins being guarded by Bourne. Oklahoma throws it away, trying to get it underneath to Andre Wiley, the creator, they call him. And Oklahoma back in their press. Billy Tubbs not a very happy man at this point. You can't let the crowd get into this. They're in it anyway, but you just can't let Iowa State get this upper hand if you're Billy Tubbs. Tompkins gets away from Blaylock. Seeger, good defensive play. Here comes Gary, dumps it off underneath. The door fell, no good.
Boy, Thompson did a good job penetrating that time. They did everything but make the basket.
Tony Martin with the rebound to Blaylock. Martin, 15-footer on the way. Tompkins again. Inside 9 minutes, hits Bourne in the head. Tompkins comes up with it.
Talk about quick hands.
Bourne taking his time, a little patient. Jeff Grayer getting ready to check back in for Iowa State. Lefester Rose with a 19-footer. Got it, a three-pointer.
There's no way he should shoot that shot, but he does it, and it goes down.
Yeah, we've got a whistle on the other end quickly. I didn't mean to start laughing, but when you have your postman throwing up a three-pointer.
You think Rhodes is a crowd pleaser?
Oh, I tell you, they love him here.
He puts up that three-point shot and goes down to the other end and blocks a shot inside.
Seeger sits down. Tyrone Jones comes in as Paul Dorfeld picks up the foul, his first personal. Now, Lefester Rhodes, I was talking to him yesterday. I said, 3 years ago, I saw you and you were a cheerleader on the bench. I said, why are you playing just gangbusters now? He goes, playing time. He says, I get to play.
We did a game with him in the Big 8 tournament last year against Oklahoma, and he came in and for 5 minutes he looked like an All-American. Then for the next 5 minutes it looked like the coach wanted to shoot him. Unbelievable.
Well, he has 12 now. Blaylock, 1 of 3 from the line. Make that 2 of 4. He has 10. Oklahoma trails Iowa State by a pair. 8:20 showing on the clock. Inside to Grayer.
Oklahoma's press has not been a factor this afternoon. Iowa State has advanced the ball up the floor very quickly and had some excellent shots because of it.
Jones to Martin to Blaylock. The crowd standing on their feet. Listen to the 14,400 at Hilton. And Mullins quiets him for the moment. His first 2 of the game.
That's a key basket because ever since Stacey King has gone out of the lineup, the Sooners have struggled offensively.
Well, Mark Urquhart's getting ready to check in for Iowa State. 6'4" junior out of Milwaukee. Grayer to Tompkins. Puts up the three-pointer, doesn't get it. Rebound controlled by Oklahoma. Here comes Blaylock. Oklahoma on the run. 3-on-3. Blaylock just barely loses the handle. Mullins puts up the jumper high off the glass. And there's going to be a foul called on Oklahoma. And it will be on Terrence Mullins.
Jones put up the shot from the outside. Mullins went for the rebound, was called for the foul. Blaylock took the ball into the middle, kicked it outside to Jones, and there was contact.
7:23 remaining in the first half. Iowa State leads Oklahoma 30-28. We'll be right back after this message from your friends at Phillips 66.
Well, it all started after my car here began to act up on me. It'd spit and sputter. It was hard to start. A buddy of mine suggested that I fill up with super clean unleaded gasoline from Phillips 66. I did, and it worked. Now it starts right, and it runs right. The problem wasn't my new car. It was my old gasoline.
Phillips 66 stations. Round fielding with Glenn Potter is Cy the Cyclone. Prances around Hilton Coliseum. 7:23 is the time remaining. Oklahoma trailing Iowa State by 2, 30-28. Oh, boy, I tell you, the fans here love their Cyclones.
Yes, they do. Ron, the Sooners are not shooting the ball well. They're only 38% from the field, and the Cyclones are 54%, but yet the Sooners are only 2 points behind.
Oklahoma shooting 49% on the year, as is Iowa State.
Watch how Iowa State has 4 people in a 1-4 alignment to get the ball inbounds. And then if OU goes to double team, Iowa State will post a man up. If not, they will back it down the floor going one-on-one.
Well, Mark Urquhart brings the ball across the timeline. Mullins on him. Urquhart just in the lineup out of Milwaukee, Wisconsin to Bourne. He has a 3-pointer this afternoon. On top to the big man, Grayer. Urquhart, little shake and bake move, throws up the jumper. He's got it, and we've got a foul called.
Almost a double pump as far as Urquhart was concerned. Looked like Mullins had his hand on the ball, was called for the foul. Watch Urquhart penetrate in the middle. Mullins trailed him and brushed the ball, but it looked like he also got his left arm. Urquhart was strong enough to get the ball down.
That's a tough play. Urquhart not able to capitalize on the 3-pointer. He has 2, and Iowa State has their biggest lead. It's 4, 32-28. A lot of time remaining for Oklahoma to King. He dominated in the early going high off the glass.
He also shuffled his feet that time. It looked like he got away with the walk.
Baby steps. 14 points for Stacey King. Underneath, Rhodes turn around. He's got it.
Said, take that, King.
14 points for LaFester Rhodes. And the Cyclones back up by 4. LaFester fights for the rebound. Wiley controls for Oklahoma. Has to kick it back out to Blaylock. Fresh 45 for Oklahoma. Urquhart giving him a lot of room out front. Jones almost walks with it. He's got to come up with a dribble to Blaylock. Puts up the jumper from the baseline. Does he get the roll? Yes.
Loki has a very quick release. Very quick jumper.
Tell you, watch Iowa State looking for number 5. He's up top, posting way up, way out front now. LaFester Rhodes, when he's hot, they'll get him the ball. Urquhart to Grayer. Grayer, gets everybody up in the air, and he's got it.
Does he have great body control? He made that little head and shoulder fake, drew the defense off their feet, and then was able to muscle it up.
Jeff Grayer now with 12. Iowa State back up by 4. Closing inside 5.5 minutes in the first half. Listen to the crowd again. Three-pointer on the way. Yes, counted for Oklahoma. Tyrone Jones.
LaFester Rhodes answers at the other end, that long full-court pass.
That's what we talked about. You have to watch Iowa State. They'll come back quickly. Blaylock drives the left side off the glass. Rhodes with the rebound. Throws the elbows. Here he comes. He brings it out himself. Has it knocked away by Mullins. Oklahoma controls the other way. A 3-on-1. Blaylock and King. King knocks Grayer.
Oh, that's Grayer's third. Oklahoma was wise to take the ball to the basket that time. Grayer tried to take the charge, but he was called for the foul, his third. Watch the dish off by Blaylock. Now, Grayer was slow getting there. That's a good call. Well, one thing Blaylock really did a nice job of, he hung onto the basketball until Grayer cut him off. Then he was able to dish it.
Well, now Billy Tubbs wants to talk to Mullins. Johnny Orr will have the Big 8 Conference leading scorer sitting on the bench. Oklahoma's leading scorer in the locker room with the flu. Sort of evens out. Grayer is out. Dorfeld back in for Iowa State. Jones fakes the jumper. LaFester Rhodes on him. Wiley, a big high jump, doesn't get it. Dorfeld will be called for the foul. That'll be his second personal.
You think Wiley's got springs?
Oh boy, he took off. Had that one big dribble, takes it in the big palm of his hand, gets up high. We take a look at Jeff Grayer setting the all-time Iowa State scoring mark this afternoon. Sitting next to Gary Tompkins. On Grayer's left. He's been bothered by the flu, but that is the Oklahoma Sooners and Andre Wiley. They call him the creator out of Compton Junior College. Raised in Flint, Michigan. He gets his first. It's his first point of the afternoon. Wiley's second on the way. He's got it. And Oklahoma now pulls within 1, and they back off on the press. Billy Tubbs telling them to take it easy on the far side. He's up with Coach Mike Mims and Jim Kerwin.
In fact, Oklahoma's gone to a 3-2 zone.
See how Iowa State breaks it to LaFester Rhodes. Three-pointer on the way. Doesn't get it. Rebound the Sooners. Boy, they had a couple guys fighting for it. Jones fights for it. LaFester Rhodes gets his hand in there, and he's caught.
And that was not a good foul. There's no way. He definitely had possession. LaFester Rhodes came from about 10 feet away and tried to gamble, and it didn't pay off.
Now the Sooners and Iowa State both in the bonus situation as LaFester walks down. Johnny Orr not pleased. Well, this is an interesting move by Johnny Orr, playing his cards now.
You're right, especially with the Cyclones ahead by 1 point. Grayer has 3 fouls. If I were Oklahoma, I would sure try and go inside against him.
Well, he set LaFester down. A lot of coaches take out players for defensive mistakes, I think, and maybe that might be the case. Jones at the line to shoot the 1-and-1, and he'll get the bonus. He has 4 this afternoon.
Coach Orr's letting LaFester know that was not a good foul.
I think one thing that might be affecting both teams, it is very warm at Hilton Coliseum. It's been warm here in Ames, Iowa, unseasonably warm. It's in the 50s. And I tell you, this might be taking its toll on the players.
Especially last week when they had a -40 wind chill index.
Right. No snow on the ground. There's not much left, although they're expecting it to hit again tomorrow. Terry Woods, bounce pass, far side to ball, the freshman. 12 and 15 points against Missouri and Oklahoma. Did a good job on the Sooners. Harvey Grant. Woods takes it, has to kick it back out. Grayer, 2-pointer on the way.
Boy, that's what makes him so tough, is he can hit inside. He can go outside as well and hit that 19-footer.
He's got 14, the 2-time All Big 8 selection, as we see how much time remaining in the first half. Iowa State by 1. Bourne getting ready to check back in for Iowa State. Stacey King with the rebound, the follow shot. It bodies all over the place. Does it go? No. Rebound controlled by Iowa State. Good play by the official.
And you know where the danger is. 2 players from Oklahoma went up to shoot, and the fear is coming down on somebody and turning an ankle, hurting the knee. Watch the players hit the deck. Penetration inside, the off-balance shot. There's the player, Dorfeld on the floor. King falls over the top of him. Wiley keeps it alive, and he falls as he starts to put the ball up. The official stops the action.
Keep somebody from getting hurt. We've got a timeout with 3:43 showing on the clock, and it is Iowa State on top of Oklahoma by 1. Now the Oklahoma Sooners lead or trail Iowa State by 1. Air transportation by Eastern. Fly Eastern by March 31st and discover why the fastest way to free travel is now 3 times faster. Eastern, we've got your ticket to triple mileage. Now that's an interesting sign. Ron Thulin with Glenn Potter back at the Hilton Coliseum in Ames, Iowa, along with 14,400 Iowa State fans, where they have their Cyclones up by 1, 40-39.
Ron, I've got an amazing statistic. At the fast pace of this game, each team has 4 turnovers each.
That's incredible.
And each team has 4 points as a result of those turnovers.
Well, now, we take a look at the field goal percentage, 58%, Oklahoma at 37%. Take a look at the rebounding statistic for these both teams as Johnny Orr and Billy Tubbs talk about it. Oklahoma leads. They double it up 24-12. Now, they were talking about who gets the ball. Johnny and Billy were both laughing when they walked away. I don't know what that means, but
I have never seen the official stop the clock in similar circumstances. Never.
Yeah. Well, they're giving the ball to Iowa State.
You know, I admire Ed for doing that because it appeared that players could be injured.
3 bodies were on the court. People jumping up and down. Somebody's going to tear a knee up. Grayer tries to get everybody up in the air. Doesn't take the shot. To Woods, looking underneath for Grayer. Grayer's still posting up kind of high, Glenn. There he goes down low. Turn around. Yes.
The zone defense allowed the ball to go inside. The Sooners were playing behind. Grayer can capitalize on something like that.
Like you said, he can post up, post down, comes out. You've got to be all over him. Iowa State now by 3. Stacey King has been the yeoman for Oklahoma so far this afternoon. Now he's battling Dorfeld underneath. Mullins stops, pops. Does he get it? No. Rebound controlled by Bourne of Iowa State. Here come the Cyclones. They've got a 2-on-2. Terry Woods, 2-pointer, no good. Rebound tip. Wiley controls, knocked out of bounds. Let's see who's got it. Iowa State. And Billy Tubbs is hot.
I thought Dorfeld came over the top and knocked the ball out of bounds.
I thought he did too. Well, Billy Tubbs, who's led Oklahoma to 6 20-win seasons, very upset. Jeff Grayer sits down. LaFester Rhodes comes back in.
I really think that's a good move on Coach Orr's part.
You think we'll see Grayer the rest of the first half?
I think it'd be devastating if he picked up that 4th foul.
Well, he'll be sitting down for 2 minutes and 50 seconds if he does. LeFester only with 1 personal foul. He's in good shape.
With him out of the lineup, this is a good chance for the Cyclones to run some time off the clock. I don't know if they will, though.
Well, they're spread out. Woods, the Dorfeld jumper on the way, no good. Rebound, Stacey King. Here comes Mookie Blaylock. Iowa State getting back awfully quick defensively. Good job. Three-pointer, no. Knocked out. Wiley's got it for Oklahoma. He's got to get it to Jones. Jones looking for the two-pointer on the way. He doesn't get it. Rebound controlled by Bourne.
Those Sooners aren't bashful.
No. Iowa State hasn't had much success slowing the ball down this year, and I think that's they've got to be very, very careful. Baugh takes it to the hoop off the glass.
What a nice move. He did that little slide step into the middle, put it off the glass. Good athletic skill.
Johnny Orr is very high on that young man. Mark Baugh, the 6'5 freshman from Elgin, Illinois, says he has earned the starting job. Has played very well against Missouri and against Harvey Grant at Oklahoma last Wednesday night. Stacey King jams into Dorfeld. I don't think they ever call that on the offensive player. That's 3 on him.
Dorfeld, a very physical, aggressive player, doesn't have great speed and quickness, but when King put the ball on the floor, there was contact.
Well, the Davenport, Iowa sophomore picks up his 3rd personal foul. Now Billy Tubbs yelling some instructions to his Sooners. Jones has sat down. He's taking a breather. Dave Seeger back in the lineup. And King hits the free throw. He's perfect from the line. He's 5 for 5. And he now has 15 points this afternoon.
Strategy of Oklahoma going into the game, get the ball inside. Grayer and Dorfeld now have 3 fouls each for Iowa State. That is a factor.
King has his first miss of the afternoon from the charity stripe. Oklahoma find themselves down by 4. Closing in on 1.5 minutes remaining in the first 20 minutes.
Notice when Sager comes in the lineup, he plays the point on defense and also drops down into the post area when the ball goes to the corner.
Boy, Bourne's eyes are getting real big for that three-pointer. We've got a blocking foul on Dave Seeger. Let's see if that's goaltending. They did pin the ball, yes.
It's a long ways for Seeger to go from the point to the baseline, and he was there and almost took the charge.
That's his first personal foul. Let's look from down below.
Watch come in. Seeger gets there. No, he had half of his body by him. Good move by Dorfeld.
Yeah. Up top, same play. Boy, look at that. Takes it to the hole. Stacey King slams it up against the board. Dorfeld not able to get the three-pointer. Nevertheless, Iowa State with their biggest lead here in the first half. It is 6 points, and we are at 1:15 remaining. Glad you can be with us. Another exciting day of Big 8 basketball here on the Raycom Sports Network. Blaylock shot off the glass, doesn't get it. Here comes Iowa State, long pass to Rhodes. Seeger knocks it away. Blaylock comes up with it. He pitches it off, but we've got a whistle and a foul called on Baugh, the freshman, and he is hurt. Getting up slowly. His second personal foul.
Had an opportunity to see Seeger and some of his defensive skills that time. He really flew down the court in a hurry, was able to deflect the ball. Watch him deflect the ball. He's the one that kept it alive.
He actually looked like he shuffled it to Blaylock.
Baugh moved in. Good call.
Right in the throat, I think, for the freshman.
This is supposed to be a non-contact game.
Yeah, right. A lot of bodies being thrown around there. Mookie Blaylock. Boy, everybody was in the lane before he shot that one.
Bourne especially.
Bourne was underneath. 3 of 5 for Blaylock now from the line. He has 13 points.
It used to be you couldn't enter the lane until the ball hit the rim, and you used to focus on the rim. But now you should watch and concentrate on that shooter.
Well, Baugh sits down. Urquhart comes back in. And Blaylock will have another. Everybody's in again. I couldn't tell who was in. They had 4 guys in the lane before the ball even started to leave his hands. There we see that's the 10th of a second on the clock. For those of you who have never seen the clock here at Hilton Coliseum. And that does help. Bourne from about 23 doesn't get it. Tipped by Dorfeld. LeFester Rhodes with the board.
You can't grab the ball on the offensive end. You tip it, and that allowed Rhodes to come up with possession and the 2 points.
The shot clock is off. LeFester Rhodes now with 15. Listen to the crowd at Hilton. 23 seconds underneath the King off the glass. He's got it, and boy, that's a momentum buster right there. Stacey King with 2.
And that's a case where they should have kept their hands away, had definite inside position, no advantage to gain whatsoever.
King has 17 points here in the first half. He's kept Oklahoma in the game.
What's the lob pass? King does a nice job controlling it. A little fake, goes up strong, and was fouled.
That's tough fronting him, which Dorfeld tried to do. King's not able to get it. Martin, he'll be whistled for the foul through the elbow on the shot.
That's Dorfeld's 4th foul.
So Iowa State in some foul trouble.
We might get a chance to see Victor Alexander this afternoon, a 6'10", 265-pound freshman for the Cyclones from Detroit, Michigan.
Boy, I tell you, we saw here he comes now, as a matter of fact.
No, that's Johnson.
42. Johnson's coming in.
He's a miniature Alexander.
Yeah, Robert Johnson, 6'6", 225-pound freshman out of Des Moines, Iowa. And he will take some space in the lane. He'll come in for Dorfeld, who's going to be shooting. He gets the first.
Johnson will like this kind of action in practice. He's the kind of player that really mixes it up.
Out of Park Forest, Illinois, and he'll check in if Dorfeld cans the second. He doesn't get it, so he'll stay in the ball game. And Blaylock comes down with the rebound. Iowa State up by 5, 16 seconds showing on the clock. Oklahoma going for one. And it's stolen. Terry Woods. Here comes Iowa State. What a move by Woods. 4 seconds. 3, 2, 1. Oklahoma won't get off a shot. And we've got a whistle with 1 second left.
Mullins was called for a foul.
Oh, boy.
Well, Oklahoma self-destructed there in about 15 seconds.
I tell you, Oklahoma had a chance. Let's take a look at it again.
A lazy cross-court pass allowed Woods to intercept it, go the length of the floor, did a nice job controlling the ball, putting it up, and Singer threw the ball the length of the floor. Blaylock penetrated. Probably should have taken the shot, but he tried to thread the needle through 2 Cyclones. Dorfeld was fouled.
And 1 second on the clock. Instead of being down by 3, Oklahoma could be down by as many as 9. 52-44. They trail it by 8. 1 tick exactly remaining on the clock. Iowa State's just going to clear off the court on this one. Dorfeld has the second. He's got it. Oklahoma's in a hole. Now they're going to bring in Johnson. Robert Johnson will come in. Dorfeld will sit down. Don't want him to pick up another foul before with just 1 tick left on the clock. King, Woods knocks it out of bounds. Nope, we still have a half a second left.
Yeah, isn't that something?
Oh, look at that. 0.5 seconds. Now Billy Tubbs says, wait a minute, that ball should be out underneath. Eddie Hightower saying, Billy, it's right here, baby cakes.
Throw it at the basket.
Yeah. King, he's got to throw it way down. Blaylock's not going to throw it that far. That's about 20 feet short. We have played 20 minutes in Iowa State with a very surprising 53-44 lead. And Billy Tubbs getting in the last word with the officials. Glenn, somewhat of a surprise. They saw OU self-destructed in the last 10, 15 seconds.
There's no question about it. Ricky Grace got into foul trouble. Harvey Martin's got the flu. Harvey Grant, excuse me, has the flu. It's a difficult first half for the Sooners.
Now you have to think about Johnny Orr and Iowa State. You've got the crowd on your side. How much does that become a factor now that you have this type of lead?
Oh, I'm sure the Cyclones are going into the locker room with a great deal of confidence. Their game plan is let's handle the ball against the press, but let's also get up and down the court and score.
Well, I'm sure Oklahoma's got to get back to their type of game, get it back up and down the court, and that's what they're going to have to do in the second half.
Well, oftentimes they've done that with a full court press, but that hasn't been a factor in the first half.
Well, Oklahoma dominated early on, but Iowa State made the move halfway through the first half. And with 20 minutes out of our way, Iowa State leads Oklahoma 53-44. We'll be on top of the Sooners 53-44 after the first 20 minutes of play. A lot of other great basketball being played this afternoon around the country. Let's take a look at our scoreboard and check out a couple of numbers from this afternoon in college basketball. And maybe we will, maybe we won't. As we see, Underdog has had some problems for Oklahoma. There we see an upset in the making. Indiana, Bobby Knight over Purdue, 43-32 in the first half.
I don't know if that's a surprising score or not. They look for revenge in that conference.
No, I tell you, North Carolina leading Georgia Tech by 2, rather close game, 38-36 also in the first half. And in the Southern Mississippi contest, it's South Carolina leading Southern Miss 79-63. Our score once again, we have the Oklahoma Sooners trailing Iowa State 53-44, but we have 20 minutes of basketball remaining to be played in Ames, Iowa. And with the type of scoring machines that both teams have, this is still up for grabs. We'll return to Ames. Big 8 basketball is brought to you by Phillips 66. And we are back with Iowa State leading at halftime. The big man for Iowa State in that first 20 minutes, their leading scorer in the Big 8 Conference's leading scorer. We speak of Jeff Grayer, 24.8 average. Has 16 in the first half, including a bucket that gave him the all-time leading scorer here at Iowa State, surpassing Barry Stevens.
Rhodes gives him a nice pass inside. Grayer banks the ball off the glass. How many times have they seen that here in Hilton Coliseum?
Let's take a look at Iowa State scoring here in the first 20 minutes. As we mentioned, Grayer with 16 points, LaFester Rhodes with 18 points, and including a three-pointer. Throw it in for the big guy, Woods, Dorfeld, Bourne, Baugh, and Urquhart. Closing out the scoring for Iowa State. Let's take a look at the scoring for the Oklahoma Sooners, and there are a couple of surprises here. You see the leading scorer, King, Blaylock with 14. But there are a couple of players that did not score, and they are starters.
As a matter of fact, there were 3 starters for the Sooners that did not put any points on the board. Harvey Grant, Dave Seeger, and Ricky Grace. That's really a surprise.
We look at Seeger, 9.5 average, Grace 15. That's a 24 points they have taken out of the lineup, including Harvey Grant. And you had his 23. He is sick. Let's take a look at the statistics in the first 20 minutes. And Oklahoma not shooting very well, 35.7. Iowa State on fire.
No question about it. The one real surprising statistic is how Oklahoma has out-rebounded Iowa State, but Iowa State did improve in that in the last 5 or 6 minutes of play, but they can't continue to give up that second and third shot inside without getting hurt.
I'd like turnovers too, 6-5. In the run and gun game, you only have 11 turnovers. Well, as we mentioned, we have a lot of exciting basketball here on the Raycom Sports Network, and the exciting Big 8 basketball continues next week with a full slate of games. Wednesday night, Iowa State travels to Kansas State. Missouri hosts Colorado, and Oklahoma will play at Kansas. Then on Thursday, Nebraska entertains the Cowboys of Oklahoma State. Be sure to attend a game in your area next week. And, of course, next Saturday, we have a couple of more games here. Right here on the Raycom Network. Just a reminder, stay with us for the second half of our doubleheader this afternoon here on Raycom. We've got another one coming for you, one of the traditional rivalries, Kansas State at Kansas, coming up on most of the stations immediately following this, the Sunflower State Showdown. Now, here's what they're handing out today, Hilton Magic. And I tell you, when you have 14,500, a 12-game win streak here, there is a little bit of magic in Ames, Iowa. Now, that's either magic or I'm not sure. At least they're not outside.
It's craziness.
Right. My mother used to yell at me for painting on myself like that. I guess, of course, I was 18 when I did it, so, you know. There we see Jeff Grayer. Great first half, 16 points. His high for the season was been 37 earlier this year. And the big question is, Harvey Grant, will the general play? Yes, he's got his jacket off. He is ready to go. And now the question, though, is how long can he play? Because, quite frankly, when he took off early in that first half, he ran to the locker room, folks.
It looked like he was on a fast break.
Yeah, he is.
We've talked about foul problems. Iowa State. Grayer has 3. Baugh has picked up his 3rd foul, which I really didn't detect until we got the score sheet. Dorfeld has 4 coming off the bench. Oklahoma, Grace has 3, and Mullins, a substitute, has 3.
Yeah, the ball belonged to Oklahoma. Gary Tompkins just stood in front of me here at Hilton Coliseum in Ames, and while you were talking, I asked him if he's okay. He said, not so hot. So the flu that's been bothering him since the Oklahoma game Wednesday apparently still playing the effect. Stacey King, the way he started the first half, turn around and give LaFester Rhodes his 2nd personal foul.
I really thought at the end of the first half, Oklahoma got a little bit impatient, took some shots outside instead of going down low where they were so effective early in the game.
There we see LaFester, 2nd personal foul. He has 18 points, and boy, they cannot afford to lose that gentleman. Stacey King at the line out of Lawton, Oklahoma. Drops his first. Ironically, at the beginning of the season, Billy Tubbs said this would probably be the biggest rebuilding year for Oklahoma since Wayman Tisdale left. Some rebuilding year. That is not Brad Sutton, by the way.
See if the Sooners go in that full court press. It's a very passive man-for-man. It's not a zone principle. The key factor in their zone press is Harvey Grant. He plays that point and goes to double team. If he's not feeling well, may not have the energy to do that.
Grant is on Grayer. Woods with Blaylock on him. Grayer to the hoop, off the glass, doesn't get it. Tipped up and in by LaFester Rhodes.
Boy, is Rhodes active on the court. His man did not do a good job screening him off.
LaFester's that type of person. I mean, he is just a fun-loving guy, and in practice, he's always running around and everything as Oklahoma turns the ball over. 2-on-2. Woods pulls up, has to dump it off. Rhodes, turn around, yes. Now let's see what Billy Tubbs does now is quickly. Mookie Blaylock, he pulls up with the jumper. Boy, we're going to fill it up here in the second half. Whistle.
Looked like King came over the back. If you score a basket, you don't have time to celebrate against either of these teams.
I'm glad you're watching because I look down to check off the number on the page, and I hear these feet going by me. Listen. Stacey King, only his second personal foul. He is Oklahoma's leading scorer with 19 points. Sooners trail it by 11. Woods with the long shot, no good. That's the biggest lead for Iowa State this afternoon. Oklahoma needs to do something here in the first 5 minutes, I think. Grace, baseline jumper, left-handed shot on the way. His
nice
first
soft
2
touch.
points. Yeah.
Sooners were in a 3-2 zone last time down the floor. Looks like they're in it again.
Rhodes drops down low, tries to pick Harvey Grant, get it back out to Woods. Professor Rhodes, good job by Mookie Blaylock. Boy, he's quick. That's why he leads in steals, I guess.
He has great anticipation.
Yeah. Johnny Orr, I'm sure he does not feel comfortable with a lead, despite the fact it is 9 at this point. Turnover situation, only 12 in this ball game. Now we have a problem with the clock, I think. The 45-second clock is not on down at Oklahoma's end, or Iowa State's end. Now Billy Tubbs also yelling instructions to the officials. The clock isn't working. Completely dark. There it is. The other end, it's lit, but on Iowa State's shooting end, it is not. So now I think they're going to have to call a timeout and try to get this thing taken care of. I don't know why you'd worry about a 45-second clock with Iowa State and Oklahoma.
Teams?
Yeah, turn the thing off. We don't use it anyway. It's a waste of electricity. It's back on again. They need a 20-second clock with these two teams. Now, Billy's... Just watch Billy.
Well, it makes it tough on those coaches when they can't get out of the coaching box. It used to be they'd prayed to midcourt all the time, but they can't do that anymore.
Well, now Billy's asking for an explanation, along with his assistant. We'll try to find out what the problem is. The question was how much time was left on the clock. So they put it 33. That is what is left on the shot clock above the Iowa State hoop. And we're back in play. 18:20 left in the game. Man, Iowa State a comfortable 9-point lead at this point. They're Blaylock again, those quick hands.
The way Oklahoma plays their 3-2 defense, there should be a shot at the top of the key once that ball goes to the corner.
Professor Rhodes into Grayer. Good pass underneath the ball. Little 360 pirouette, doesn't get it.
Stacey King, beautiful block, came clear from the other side of the floor in order to reject it.
Boy, Ricky Grace bumps into Tompkins, and that'll be Gary Tompkins' call. He said that Ricky Grace used the elbow.
And he may have pushed off a little bit.
Well, that's Gary's first personal foul. Let's take a look at Stacey King on defense.
Watch him come from the offside of the floor. Baugh really does a 360 and got by Seeger, but not Stacey King.
Well, Oklahoma will have the ball underneath.
Oklahoma will either throw the ball to the corner or they'll try and lob it into the middle.
And they get it to King. Over Rhodes off the glass. He's got it. Stacey King.
He is such a dominating force inside. Looks like they would want to feed him every time he comes down the court.
His high for the season is 33, and he has 21 now. We still have 17:40 left in the ball game. Fast-paced game. LaFester Rose, three-pointer, no good. Boy, did Baugh go up for the rebound on that. Loses it, still has it out of bounds. Oklahoma. Oh, I tell you, Stacey King had position. Baugh came flying in on that one.
Again, boy, did he make a beautiful move towards the basketball. Tremendous athletic skills. Only a freshman.
No wonder Johnny Orr is so high on this young man. Stacey King on Rhodes, takes it to the paint, off the glass, a little short. Here comes Terry Woods. 3-on-1 Iowa State. Woods pulls up the 10-footer.
Did you notice Grace back off that time? No way was he going to pick up his fourth foul. Woods did a smart job just pulling up and shooting a 6-foot jump shot.
If they give it to you, take it. Harvey Grant, top of the key, has not scored yet this afternoon for Oklahoma. Seeger three-pointer doesn't get it. King is there.
You notice where Grayer is checking Seeger, an outside player, so he won't pick up that third or fourth foul inside.
Underneath.
But he's not going to play outside on offense, I'll guarantee you.
Give Jeff Grayer 18. Harvey Grant looking for his first hoop, way over the hoop. And here comes Iowa State again on the attack. 3-on-3. Mookie Blaylock with the steal. And Stacey King will have a showtime, folks.
By number 33, Stacey King for Oklahoma.
25 points for Stacey King, the junior out of Lawton, Oklahoma. Number 1 in the conference in block shots. Has one this afternoon. He's averaging 3 a game. 16 minutes remaining to be played. 7-point Cyclone advantage. Baugh with the three-pointer, nothing but net.
The Sooners set their defense that time to keep the ball from going into Grayer. Sager was fronting him, but Baugh took advantage of it. Nobody got out to him.
A lot of points for a freshman. Blaylock is fouled on the floor before the shot. A lot of points for that freshman.
Fouls on number 4, Terry Woods of Iowa State.
And Terry Woods picks up his first personal foul. And we've got a timeout on the court. 15:52 remaining to be played in the opening 20 minutes. And it's Iowa State with a 10-point advantage over the Oklahoma Sooners. We'll be right back after this message from your friends at Phillips 66. Well, Glenn Potter and I want to remind you that we'll be selecting the Ford Player of the Game at the end of today's game, so stay with us. And we have a couple of candidates in Jeff Grayer, Lefester Rhodes, and Stacey King for Oklahoma. Take a look at some of the plays they're running, and that is the Oklahoma bench. Billy Tubbs.
I'm not quite sure I can read that.
I'm not sure what you got to read upside down, whatever it is. That's Johnny Orr.
Yeah, there have been some defensive adjustments to start the second half. Oklahoma has been in a zone. I'm sure that's in order to keep Harvey Grant in the contest as well as protect Grace. But also Grayer has been checking Seeger outside. He hasn't been active on the action inside.
Well, Mookie Blaylock with a three-pointer for the Sooners. That is their second of the ball game. Jones has the other. That cuts the lead down to 7. Iowa State spreading it out, Glenn.
Oh, and Oklahoma has changed their defense to a 2-3.
Grayer way out top. King sort of matching up with him. He's behind him. Woods over King, rejects the ball. Here comes Mookie Blaylock. 2-on-1 Oklahoma to Grace. Gets Tompkins in the air off the glass. Doesn't get it. Tip. And Oklahoma controls Harvey Grant. Fans wanted a travel call. That second block for Stacey King this afternoon. Grace, three-pointer on the way. No good. A rebound. Mookie Blaylock comes up with it. Has to kick it back out. So Oklahoma, second, third, fourth chance, which we saw in the first half. King, a little shaking and baking in the lane, and Lefester Rhodes will be called for the foul, and that is his third personal foul.
Something's bound to give if you give up 3 shots during a possession.
His second, the 4th team foul and a half on the Cyclones. At the line for Oklahoma.
Take it back down the other end.
With 2 shots.
Woods penetrates. King's just waiting for him. Bats it out of there. Blaylock came up with it. As they went down the floor, they had a nice 2-on-1 situation.
Well, Gary Tompkins going to take a seat, and Bourne checks back into the lineup. Mike Bourne, the junior out of West Des Moines. Stacey King making his 10th trip to the line this afternoon, and he's got it. 26 points now for Stacey King, and he's got both. Only missed 2 out of 11 from the free throw line this afternoon.
OU has given up on that full court press.
Yeah. Concentrating
on a 2-3 or 2-1-2 zone.
Oklahoma was down by as many as 11. They have crept back within 5. Important first 5-6 minutes for Oklahoma. They've done exactly what they wanted to do. Good ball, good anticipation by Blaylock.
I can't believe what a good job he does of anticipating.
Yeah.
There was a job of acting along with it, but I tell you what, watch him jump in the path of Bourne. He had both those feet planted.
He is so quick. That first step, boom, and he's there.
They're coming back. They're within 5. They picked up 5 points here in the last minute.
And Blaylock, three-pointer counted for Blaylock. His second. And we've got a 2-point game. Iowa State led by 9 at halftime. Can Grayer kill the momentum? No, belongs to Oklahoma. Here come the Sooners. 2-on-1. Blaylock dumps it off to Grace. Little reverse. No. Stacey King with the rebound. He puts it up and in.
And we had another second shot. That's killed the Cyclones.
Johnny Orr says, I got to talk about this, folks. He wants to sit down.
What has happened is the defense of Oklahoma has really changed the offensive momentum for the Cyclones. They're being very patient, and that's not how they got that lead in the first half.
Well, Oklahoma has outscored Iowa State 20-11 here in the second half. They trailed by as many as 11. Now we're tied. We'll be right back after this message from your friends at Phillips 66. 4 showing on the clock, and we are knotted up at 64. Air transportation by Eastern, serving Big A country with convenient non-stops from Kansas City to the east and west. Eastern, we've got your ticket. Round Thula with Glenn Potter as the Iowa State pom-pom girls continue to work out on the far end. Talk about fast scoring, Glenn. Great statistic you have.
It took Oklahoma 1 minute and 48 seconds to make up a 10-point deficit.
Also a scoring change. The official score has taken one of LaFester Rhodes' fouls away and have given it to Baugh. So that'll help LaFester, number 5 for Iowa State. And Terry Woods has to control things way out front. Rhodes underneath the bar. He's double teamed. King and Grant. Grant has played the entire second half. Good for Oklahoma over King. He's going to be whistled for the foul. His third.
Stacey King did a nice job of staying on his feet that time and extending his arms above his head, but he still made contact on his hand. Grayer will be going to line for 2. I would say that of Jeff Grayer's game, the only real weakness is probably free throw shooting. He shoots 68% from the free throw line.
He has 18 today. This is his first trip to the line. Very quiet here at Hilton. Got quiet real quick. Jeff Grayer, number 1 scorer in the conference. There we see his average. And what he has today. Chalk up 2 more for the 2-time All-Big 8 selection. And Iowa State back up by a pair. Inside 13.5. Blaylock, 3-pointer, goes high off the glass, tip controlled by Iowa State. Here come the Cyclones. Seeger makes a good defensive play, but Baugh's there to pick up the loose ball. Bourne, Terry Woods, 3-pointer.
Iowa State did a nice job of moving the ball before the defense really got set up.
12 points for Woods. Iowa State up by 5 after tying it up at 64, and they go to King off the glass, count it, and Baugh picks up the foul. King now with 31 points, just 2 away from his number and his season high.
I can't believe how much King has improved offensively this year. Such a dominating force inside. Nice pass by Mookie Blaylock on the hand away from the defense. King goes up strong. Baugh fouls him.
Dorfeld comes back in. Baugh's going to have to take a seat, and he is playing with 4 personal fouls. Now the substitution pattern for Johnny Orr is probably thrown completely out of whack. King hits the free throw. 2 of 12, 32 points. Woods looking over that 3-pointer. Tries by Blaylock, tries to get it underneath, and knocked out of bounds by Harvey Grant.
Terry Wood does a nice job of using his head and shoulders to fake, and every time the defense leaves their feet, he penetrates into the middle of that zone and is able to dish the ball off.
There's their 3-pointer, Mike Bourne. Loses the handle. Can he keep it? No, he stepped out of bounds. Give it to Oklahoma. One of the rare turnovers here in this game.
Ron, Stacey King already has 32 points this afternoon. His high for the season is 33. Said cross-court pass. Bourne, head and shoulder fake. Oh, he just lost his knee.
Oh, he's on the line.
See his toe on the line.
16 turnovers, Iowa State with 2 more than the Sooners. Dave Seeger throws up the 3-pointer, no good. Tip controlled by Iowa State. Everybody wanted a foul on Stacey King. Oklahoma has shot 395 3-pointers coming into the game. There's Rose with the jumper, no good.
But watch him go and get the ball back.
So he doesn't get it. Ricky Grace with the foul.
Anytime Roach puts the ball up, you've got to block him out because he's going to go to the glass, and he does it from the top of the key.
That is 4 for Ricky Grace. He picked up his 3rd at 12:14 in the first half. So he has gone about 8 minutes before he picked up his 4th. Billy Tubbs looks like he's going to keep him in. He's talking to him on the side.
Grace is really a stabilizing influence on offense for the Sooners. He just runs that show. Very unselfish. Always comes up with a lot of assists, keeps his teammates happy, but he's a vital force in their offense.
23 points now for LaFester Rhodes. Ricky Grace, preseason honorable mention by Street and Smith.
Oklahoma is really tough after the opponent makes a free throw. They get that ball up the floor in a hurry, and they put some pressure on you, looking for that 3-point shot. And if you pick them up tough like that on the outside, they'll put it inside.
Blaylock tries the 3-pointer, but Bourne has to control it. 3-on-2 for Iowa State. To Woods, to Rhodes. Hello, everybody.
Iowa State just used the same kind of strategy I described as the Sooners liking to use.
They'll give LaFester 25, and Iowa State back up by 5. 11:50 on the clock, and listen to the crowd.
Ron, can you remember when they wouldn't allow you to dunk in college basketball?
Oh, I know. All the way down to Rhodes, kicks it back out. Bourne, that was Harvey Grant, by the way. That's his first field goal and point this afternoon. At about the 11:40 mark, Grayer with the jumper. Seeger with the rebound. Here come the running Sooners. 3-on-3, 4-on-3. Pulls up, Ricky Grace, bottoms.
Defense did a nice job protecting the basket. Grace wisely pulled up, hit the jump shot.
Boy, that's good. Iowa State goes up by 5. Oklahoma comes back, cuts it to 1. That's Ricky Grace's 4th point, all here in the second half. Averaging better than 15 a game. We have 11 minutes left in the contest. Woods to Grayer over King. 22 for the leading scorer in the Big 8 Conference. Seeger, three-pointer.
That's a big basket for him. He has been in a major slump the last 3 games, especially from the three-point range.
We are knotted at 74 at 10:45. That really helped Oklahoma. Bourne with a 2-pointer, in and out, no good. Of course, Grayer's high this year was 37. His career high is 39. Basket is good. Give it to Harvey Grant. And Dorfeld, I think, has fouled out of the ball game. Johnny Orr is he is going nuts. Boy, I tell you, if Harvey Grant takes over for Oklahoma, Iowa State could be in trouble.
What Oklahoma does is they spread the floor with those three-point shooters, and then they bring the ball up, try and penetrate, and you can't help out on the inside. And no matter how much Coach Orr gets upset, he's still got to bring a player in off the bench.
Right, exactly right. Looking at it again, underneath the Grant. Ooh,
Close?
that's bodily contact there, folks. Maybe we can see a little bit closer up above. Hang on a second, we'll be able to see it up top.
Nice pass inside. Well, he had his feet.
I think they may have said he got him on the hand. I'm not.
He could have made a hack at his arm.
That's tough
but
to
he
call.
had his feet planted on the floor.
Oh, yeah. And Johnny Orr not too pleased with that as Harvey Grant.
That's still the toughest call in basketball to make.
It's easy for us on the replay. We can look at that 3 or 4 different times. They've got to make a split-second decision. Grant misses the free throw. He's averaging 23. Has 4 this afternoon, and Oklahoma with their first lead in a long time. 76-74 since early in the first half. 76 points scored by the Sooners, and we still have 10 minutes remaining in the second half. Woods finds the opening. Whoa! Stacey King with his 3rd block.
And it was not goaltending.
I don't think it was either.
Beautiful timing.
He's averaging 3 a game, and he got his 3 already. Blaylock three-pointer, in and out, no good. Rebound, LaFester Rhodes. He's going to play point guard. Ball's loose, and Bach comes up with it. So Mike Bourne. And he's going to direct a little traffic. Sooners have a chance to get their biggest lead in a long time. They're up by 2. Couldn't take advantage. Down low to Grayer. Nope, whistle foul is on the floor. Let's see. But Oklahoma thought it was traveling.
Foul is on number 44, David Seeger.
Jeff Grayer split a seam that time. Got his head and shoulders between 2 defenders. Really made a beautiful move to the basket. Is he tough inside? He can just feel that defense on his back.
He is so strong. I'm anxious to see where he goes in the NBA. I was talking to one of the scouts from the Dallas Mavericks, Keith Grant, was saying that he is probably one of the premier players here in the Big 8. And I said, what's he going to play? And they think he's got the power to play the small forward.
You either have to be small forward or the big guard.
Yeah, or the big guard.
His speed and quickness is somewhat deceptive.
Because he's such a big guy. He's a good-sized guy. He has 23. And Grayer's got 24.
Right at his average.
We're at the 6th tie of our contest. All knotted up at 76, and we still have 10 minutes to play. Don't turn that dial. Don't forget Kansas State coming up following, and that's going to be a barn burner. Harvey Grant with the basket.
Number 25, Harvey Grant of Oklahoma.
7th lead change, Grant with 6. All here in the second half. Baugh looks at it, turns it down. To LaFester. He doesn't turn it down. Nothing but net.
I can't believe it. You can see it in his eyes before he gets the ball. He's going to put it up.
And Oklahoma throws it out. Last touch by Iowa State. 24 for LaFester Rhodes. Now Johnny Orr saying, hey, that's a jump ball. Billy Tubbs is going nuts,
well,
too.
the coach just told, the referee just told Orr, stay back in that coaching box. Watch Orr come across that line. He pointed his finger at him.
If that was a three-point line, his toes are on it. Now both coaches going to meet at half court.
Well, I think the way the rules read this year, that the official should not talk to any coach unless he talks to both of them.
Right, right. And somehow, I wouldn't want to be an official with both Billy and Johnny. I wouldn't want to talk. Billy's saying he wants a T, I think, for that.
John Orr was one step out of the coaching box, and Hightower warned him.
I wouldn't push my luck if I was a coach, though, asking the official for a technical for the other coach stepping out of the box, because you never know when you're going to come out like a cannon.
I'll guarantee you both of these coaches are not only good coaches, but they're showmen.
Oh, they are. They are. Billy Tubbs has done a remarkable job. 6 consecutive postseason appearances for Oklahoma. Johnny Orr, as we mentioned early, turned the program around here at Iowa State. Well, that doesn't please the 14,000 plus at Hilton. Billy didn't even come out for pregame warm-ups. He sat in the locker room. I think he thought, well, I'm going to have to sit through 40 minutes of the fans' wrath. I think I'll just hold on. Now we're knotted at 78. Ricky Grace turns and shoots the three-pointer. No good. Harvey Grant had the position, lost it, and it belongs to the Sooners as Baugh knocked it out of bounds.
Baugh did a nice job just knocking the ball out of bounds because Grant had inside position on it.
The Sooners bring it in, get it to their big man. Seeger with LaFesta Rhodes. Real stabilizing forces we were talking about before the game even went on the air. How stabilizing Dave Seeger is for this Sooner team. Grace, three-pointer, he's got it.
It's amazing to me how those guards shoot that three-pointer so effortlessly.
Yeah. Oklahoma up by 3. Grace has 7, all here in the second half. 8:35 on the clock. As we anticipated, a very well-played basketball game, and Iowa State turns it over.
And LaFesta Rhodes was looking to shoot before he cut the ball.
He had that smile on his face. Iowa State averaging 101 points here at Hilton Coliseum as we take a look at the turnovers. Oklahoma, as we all know, averaging 107 a contest. Ricky Grace over Woods. He doesn't get it. Rebound control by Iowa State. Boy, Ricky's not afraid to put that three-pointer up. LaFesta with a two-pointer doesn't get it. Grant gets knocked to the ground. Grace is on the ground. LaFesta wanted an alley-oop.
You're right.
Did you see him just yelling? He had nobody to guard him. Baugh tries to drive baseline. Seeger cuts it off. Knocked out of bounds by Blaylock.
Once again, you saw the defensive anticipation on the part of Blaylock.
Well, Johnny Orr can't be happy with the 9-point lead he had at halftime. Is now turned into a 3-point advantage for the visiting Oklahoma Sooners. We've got 7:57 remaining to be played in the ball game, and right now it's the Oklahoma Sooners up by 3 over the and register to win a trip for 2 to both Hawaii and the NCAA Final Four, or a trip to the Phillips 66 Big 8 tournament. When you register, pick up a Big 8 team decal. Enter now at participating Phillips 66 stations. One stat we like to pass around: Oklahoma's had 10 more attempts from the field, more than Iowa State, as Billy Tubbs' troops now up by 3. Gary Tompkins coming back into the lineup, and the field goal percentage, Oklahoma was shooting 38, Glenn.
Yes, they're coming back. Iowa State has dropped off a little bit.
And there is our score, 81-78. 7:57 on the clock.
To me, the difference in the game so far in the last 10 minutes has been the outside shooting ability of the Sooners. They quit going inside to Stacey King.
Tompkins looks at that three-pointer, gives it up to Bourne. He takes it, doesn't get it. Rebound. Grayer goes way up for the hoop. But we've got a foul on King.
Grayer really took advantage of his athletic ability that time. The Sooners did not block out whatsoever. They simply went for the ball. Grayer slipped in between two Sooners for the rebound.
He has 32 points, but Stacey King also has 4 personal fouls. And Billy Tubbs may have to go to his bench because there's still a great deal of time remaining in this game. You don't want Stacey King to pick up 5. Now watch for Grayer. He's working on King now underneath. Tompkins, three-pointer. No. Grace with the board. Boy, the guards of Oklahoma get a lot of rebounds. King working on Grayer underneath. Ball slammed by LaFesta Rhodes, and Stacey says, I'll answer that, thank you.
Stacey King really made a nice pivot along that baseline.
34 points, a new season high for Stacey King as Grayer misses. King with the rebound, knocked out of bounds by Mark Baugh.
Stacey King now has his career high.
That's right, 34 points.
See if the Sooners go back inside to him or if they rely on the three-pointer.
Big possession for Oklahoma. Stacey King takes it to the hole, doesn't get it. LaFester Rhodes come down with the rebound, and he walked with it. He was undercut, and I think I have to see the replay. I think Mike Bourne may have gotten him underneath, because when he came down with the board, he was going down. Yeah, it's a tough call. We were really blocked out underneath.
Take a look on the offside.
No, it wasn't Bourne. Let's see. Nope, it was Oklahoma got him. Blaylock. Well, the fans may have a reason. Took his feet, little Brooklyn Bridge action. Johnny Orr doesn't want to see his team get down by as many as 7 or 8, which Oklahoma has a chance of doing, but they throw the ball away. Big possession now for Iowa State. DeBaugh takes it to the hoop. He's got it.
Did a nice job protecting the ball with his body. Watching Harvey Grant that time, he had a tough time getting down the floor.
That's 7 for the freshman. OU almost threw the ball away. 83-80, Oklahoma by 3, 6:43 showing on the clock. Turnaround jumper by Harvey Grant is good.
He didn't have trouble getting that shot on.
Nope. The flu has passed. He has 8 all here in the second half. Well below his average. But he's giving Oklahoma the extra oomph they needed here in the second 20 minutes. LaFester Rhodes, three-pointer. And it's Gary Tompkins behind. Oh, what a pass.
Don't think Tompkins and Grayer don't know each other's play on the floor. Grayer was waiting for that.
Boy, it was a Broadway opening on that. Showtime for Iowa State. King tries to answer. Left-handed turnaround. Just barely hits the rim. And we've got a foul.
It looked like Rhodes was holding off.
Yeah. Nope, just knocked it out of bounds. No foul. And the fans really showing their wrath now. Iowa State, great fans. Even for the visiting team. They cheer for the home team, but some of the greatest college basketball fans. Blaylock, little opening, he takes it, no good. Tipped up and in by Harvey Grant.
You can see how much he means in this team and where they missed him in the first half.
Well, he majors in law enforcement, and right now he's enforcing the boards for Oklahoma. To Tompkins. Back on top to Bourne. Gary Tompkins, baseline, kicks it back out, loses it. Iowa State still with 25 on the shot clock.
Iowa State very wisely taking their time. They find themselves 5 points down. They need a good shot.
Well, this guy can give them 3 right away, and he does.
It's hard for those guards to cover the point as well as the wing, and if you make enough passes, one of those defensive guards will break down.
Well, Bourne has 6 points, all coming from three-point range. Harvey Grant can't get it to fall, and Gary Tompkins has the rebound for the Cyclones.
2 possessions, they have a chance to tie it up.
And Dave Seeger's whistle for the foul. That'll be his 3rd personal foul. He says, I got an elbow. So Oklahoma now with Stacey King with 4, Ricky Grace with 4, Seeger with 3.
Tompkins brings the ball up. Seeger reaches out. Tompkins pushes off, but Seeger initiated the contact.
Not a shooting foul yet.
Next foul, both teams have been a 1-and-1.
Fester Rhodes, baseline left-handed jumper, in and out, no good. King with the rebound. Boy, our 4th player of the game, it's going to be very, very tough to see who gets it. Stacey King playing well. Seeger underneath. Oh, Ricky Grace.
Doing a nice job using his body to keep the defense away.
Boy, Ricky Grace threw that about 35, 40 feet, and he saw Seeger underneath despite the fact there were some bodies down there. Oklahoma by 4. Bourne again. No, it doesn't get the shooter's roll. Knocked out. Ricky Grace for Oklahoma. 3-on-2 to Blaylock. I thought he walked with it. No call. Tipped up. No. Almost tipped up by Iowa State. Here comes Iowa State. They trail it by 4. 4:10 on the clock. I'll tell you, Stacey King, our 4th player. Maybe this man. In and out. No good. Seeger tips it. And Bourne will be called for the personal foul. That'll be his 2nd.
Ron, I get antsy when LaFester Rhodes pops in basketball.
I still like your comment. I'm not sure if I'd like to coach a player like LaFester.
You know he's going to put it up, but yet in that situation, you don't know if he's the one that you want to shoot it. But hey, he scored 54 points against the University of Iowa earlier in the season.
What do you say when a guy's got the touch? You let him put it up. You know?
I saw him in a shooting drill with the guards yesterday, and I'll tell you what, he can hit as well as any of their guards.
He's not afraid. He reminds me of the foreign players like the Brazilians that are 7'2" in that international ball. Now 4:05 remain to be played. We have a lot of basketball left, but right now it's Oklahoma, where the Oklahoma Sooners hold a 4-point advantage over Iowa State. Big 8 basketball is brought to you by Phillips 66, super clean unleaded and premium unleaded gasoline.
I think Dick Motta's comment is very appropriate at this point. The opera is not over till the fat lady sings. They don't look fat and they're not singing. So I think with 4:05 left and the guys like Bourne that can put up the three-pointer and Grayer that can draw the three-point foul, Iowa State's got to be hoping the crowd gets into it and they can pull ahead of Oklahoma at this point, but it's not over.
You're right, Ron. Not only that, but you can foul for profit now with a three-point shot. You can foul and have a chance to hit the three-pointer, and the opposition, the most they could make would be 2 free throws.
As Nebraska used that to their advantage earlier this season.
No question, when they defeated Missouri and Lincoln.
Right. Seeger hit the line, and he'll get the bonus. Seeger is 62% from the free throw line. He has 6 points this afternoon. He's averaging 9.5. Boy, look at that. I'd like to look into all that, and he misses. It's tough to win on the road, Billy Tubbs says, and it's almost rebounding and defense that wins games away from home. Inside 4 minutes, and the Sooners a 5-point advantage. Grayer far side to Bourne. We know why he's in. LeFester loses it, has to kick it back out. Woods to Bob, back to Woods. Oklahoma packing that zone in tight. Grant hounding Jeff Grayer. Now it's Stacey King. Grayer takes it, no good. Rebound. Grayer gets it again, loses the ball, tries to throw it back up, and Harvey Grant's
Open nets on Harvey Grant rather than Stacey King.
Stacey King picked up his 4th personal foul with about 7.5 minutes remaining to be played, and he has played that entire time.
King was not about to pick up his 4th foul. Watch it as it goes inside. Watch King. Boy, he just puts his hands up and kind of that Matador defense. You just wave at him as it goes by.
You've got super glue on the Converse. He's not jumping. Grayer 5 for 5 from the line. 27 this afternoon, 11 here in the second half. Good shot of Jeff Grayer. Bottoms. Grayer with 28. Iowa State cuts the OU lead down to 3. Inside 3.5. And now the crowd's starting to come alive again for Iowa State. Pretty big possession for Oklahoma.
It is.
Can't get careless.
Look for Stacey inside.
And Grayer's on him. They're fronting Stacey King, and they tried to get it to him. He lost it. And they're going to say Jeff Grayer's the last to touch the ball. Grayer's playing in front of him. I'm kind of surprised.
Well, they had to take that away from him. Gee whiz, he was killing them inside.
Grace has to get it to Grant. Back out to Blaylock. Ooh, he wanted the three-pointer but couldn't find the handle. Grace with the shot, no good. King, by default, gets the rebound. Puts a double pump. Doesn't get it. Off the leg of Stacey King, and it belongs to Iowa State.
Stacey put it up a little too quick that time. Bad shot.
And there's a good example right there. Billy Tubbs. Slow it down, gentlemen. Slow it down. And with 2:56 on the clock, Terry Woods, sophomore from Waterloo, Iowa, running the show for Iowa State to Mike Bourne, being guarded by Ricky Grace. Listen to the fans. Boy, if that doesn't get you excited. Underneath the road, Seeger cuts off the baseline. He has to get it back out. Inside 20 on the shot clock. Inside 2.5 on the game clock. To Bourne, almost double teamed. Somebody had to be open. Woods, three-pointer is going to come up short. Rebound, tipped by LeFester Rhodes. Good job by Rhodes.
Excellent.
Boy,
that ball alive. Tapped it in the backcourt, kept their run alive.
Fresh 45. Grayer works on King, doesn't get it. Rebound, Grant. He and Bourne went at it.
Well, the Cyclones have just reversed that role. They're coming up with the second and third shots now.
And they still don't. They have 9 seconds on the shot clock. They didn't give him a fresh 45 after that. Now the shot clock is off. Inside 2 minutes, they turn it off. Now they're having problems with the shot clock. It shows 9 now. Now it's off.
What's the 10-second violation?
Yeah, Ricky Grace stopped to tell the official, and the official's counting the 10-second, like you said. Good call.
Should Iowa State get another 45 seconds?
I thought they should have. The ball was shot, and they didn't get it.
If the ball is shot, even though it doesn't hit the rim, they get a new 45 seconds.
And they didn't. And in fact, it went to 9, then it went to black, and I thought they were turning it off. 150's on our game clock. Billy Tubbs Trying to figure out what the situation is here, as is Johnny Orr. The officials having a little conference in front of the scores table. Mookie Blaylock and Dave Seeger having a little summit at midcourt.
If you're Oklahoma, wouldn't you go inside to Stacey King right now?
Oh, I would. Exactly.
Take time off the clock, make the defense work.
Yeah. Also, you have a chance of him getting the three-point play instead of taking a chance shooting a 19-footer, go underneath.
The thing is, when Stacey King gets the ball inside, if he doesn't have a good shot, he's got to have the presence of mind to kick it back out for the potential three-point shot.
And if you have the backcourt they do with Blaylock and Grace, go ahead and kick it back out, because chances are they're going to be open. They've been collapsing on that man, number 33.
Seeger's the same way. Excellent shooter outside.
Like you said, Dave has been in a slump. Seeger of Oklahoma. OU will have the ball, min 150 showing on the clock, and they put 37 on the shot clock. Blaylock, Bourne in his back pocket. Seeger with Rhodes. Inside 25 on the shot clock. Blaylock gets away for a moment. OU taking their time.
Running a three-man passing game. Actually a five-man game. They've got those two big players out on the court as well.
I think we should hear sweet Georgia Brown playing with the way they're doing it right now. Blaylock tries to find an opening. 10 seconds on the shot clock. Grace takes it to the hole. Oh, what a basket by Ricky Grace.
Nice penetration. Knife through that defense, was able to get it down.
9 points for the 6'1 senior out of Dallas. All here in the second 20 minutes. Oklahoma by 5. Bourne passes up the three-pointer to Baugh at the baseline to Grayer underneath.
Low post to the high post. Anytime the low post gets the ball, a high post gets to the basket. Should have a path, and he got it.
We are inside a minute. Grayer with 30, but Iowa State trails by 3. Ball belongs to Oklahoma. There's a 17-second difference between the shot clock and the game clock. And everybody wants to talk about it. We have 53 seconds showing on the clock. Oklahoma leads it by 3, and we'll be right back after this message from your friends at Phillips 66. Break away to your nearest Phillips 66 station and register. On their 1,000th game on Wednesday night against this Iowa State Cyclone team. They're trying to pick up 1,001, which would be their first victory here in Ames since 1985. Right now, they lead it by 3 with 53 seconds left. Air transportation by Eastern. Fly Eastern by March 31st and discover why the fastest way to free travel is now 3 times faster. Eastern, we've got your ticket to triple mileage. Ron Thulin and Glenn Potter back with you in Hilton, and Glenn, 53 ticks left.
If you're Iowa State, you can't let them run too much time off the clock. King shoots 67% from the free throw line. Seeger only shoots 63%. Those are the two players you'd want to put on the line.
Ironically, in the 151 meetings between these two teams, only 4 times have somebody scored 100 points, and they don't look like they're going to reach 100 now. Inside 50, 1-1. Gary Tompkins picks up the foul.
And Seeger's the one that you want to put on the line.
Exactly right. As you mentioned, Dave Seeger only shooting 62%. He's 1 of 2 from the line this afternoon. He only has 6 points.
One thing you want to do now, if you're Iowa State, don't let them get a rebound.
Well, we want to welcome those of you joining us for the Kansas State game as Phillips 66 presents Big 8 basketball on the Raycom Sports Network, and we'll be joining that game shortly, but we've got a dandy at the Hilton Coliseum. Ron Thulin with Glenn Potter, and Oklahoma leads by 4 with 48 seconds left. Iowa State quickly recapping, led by 9 at intermission as Dave Seeger of Oklahoma hits the free throw. Iowa State led by as many as 11 after that 9-point advantage. Grayer three-pointer on the way off the back of the rim. LaFester Rhodes with the rebound. Inside 40 seconds. Bourne's going to have to do something with it. Kicks it off to Tompkins. Baseline drive. Blocked partially by Seeger. King gets a little piece of it. King with the rebound. Oklahoma controls. Oh, a big rebound by Stacey King.
You think he's not happy? What a game he's had this afternoon.
Billy Tubbs has to be very pleased with his team for not losing their composure, despite the fact Harvey Grant did not play most of the first half. He had to run to the locker room with the flu. He has played the entire second half, we might say.
If you're talking about a Big 8 championship, a loss at home is really devastating, especially Cyclones at this point.
Only 2 Big 8 teams have lost at home this year during the season. Oklahoma State and Colorado, the only 2. Boy, there'll be 14,400 disappointed fans here at the Hilton Coliseum as Stacey King, who has been OU's big gun so far today.
In the next game, Kansas State has 2 of those roads on the win. They're trying to make it 3 and bust that long home winning streak of the Jayhawks.
Stacey King with 36 points this afternoon. 30 seconds on the clock. OU by 7. They just cannot afford to foul now. Bourne to LaFester Rhodes. Grant tries to block at the three-pointer. No good. Rebound controlled by King again, and he'll add to his point total. His career season high was 33 prior to the game, and he is well above that now. And the Oklahoma bench is beginning to celebrate on the far side.
The final score may not be indicative of the type of game this was.
Exactly. Hats off to Johnny Orr and his bunch. Dave Starr, the sports information director, thank you. Mike Brzezinski from the University of Oklahoma, thank you, gentlemen. But we're pleased to announce that today's forward player of the game is Stacey King. 36 points today, 16 rebounds, and he can add to that. Stacey King, our forward player of the game. And he has the ball now again, and Iowa State comes up with it. 16 seconds showing on the clock. To LaFester Rhodes, the driving layup. And quickly, Iowa State calls a timeout. So LaFester Rhodes now with 26 points, but Iowa State finds themselves down by 5 with 11 seconds remaining to be played in Ames.